Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most explosive developments in the ongoing conflict, the latest attack on the Crimea Bridge and the shockwaves it has sent through Russia's political and military leadership. This event has triggered strong reactions, raised serious security questions, and intensified global attention on the war's trajectory. The bridge, long considered one of the Kremlin's most symbolic and strategic assets, has once again proven to be a major vulnerability. Reports of explosions, fires, and temporary shutdowns spread rapidly, sending panic across Russian social media and prompting an urgent response from Moscow. For many Russians, the bridge represents a lifeline, connecting Crimea to mainland Russia, and any strike on it feels like a direct attack on national pride. Russia moved quickly to contain the situation, dispatching emergency crews, cutting off traffic, and launching internal investigations to determine how such a strike could bypass its defenses. Even before official statements were released, state-aligned channels accused Ukraine of orchestrating the attack with Western support. The messaging was immediate. This was not just a tactical strike, but a psychological blow meant to embarrass the Kremlin. Inside Moscow, the tone reportedly shifted from shock to fury. Putin's reaction was swift and intensely emotional, with Russian media describing emergency meetings, late-night briefings, and a visible push for retaliation. The Kremlin framed the incident as an escalation that demanded a firm response, both militarily and politically. It wasn't just about damage to infrastructure. It was about restoring the image of control and strength. For Ukraine, the strike, if confirmed, would be part of a broader strategy aimed at disrupting supply lines, isolating Crimea, and undermining Russia's confidence in its own defenses. The bridge plays a crucial role in moving troops, ammunition, fuel, and civilian supplies. Any interruption forces Russia to reroute logistics through longer, more vulnerable paths. It also sends a powerful message. No matter how fortified Russia claims Crimea to be, it is not untouchable. International reactions quickly followed. Western analysts highlighted the symbolic impact of the attack, noting that it deals not just physical damage, but psychological pressure on Russian leadership. Several European officials pointed out that the bridge has always been a legitimate military target because of its direct involvement in supplying Russian forces. Meanwhile, global markets reacted cautiously, aware that any spike in tensions could ripple into energy prices and security risks. The Kremlin's challenge now is balancing retaliation with the reality of its stretched military resources. Russia has often responded to setbacks with missile strikes on Ukrainian infrastructure, and many expect a similar pattern here. The danger, however, is that escalatory cycles become harder to control, especially when domestic pressure inside Russia intensifies. Moments like this fuel nationalist anger, criticism from military bloggers, and questions about the competence of Russian commanders. The political consequences inside Russia could be even more significant. Putin has always portrayed control, stability, and strength as pillars of his leadership. A successful strike on one of his most prized infrastructure projects undermines all three. Critics inside Russia may not speak loudly, but they will take note, and the public, already fatigued by a long war, may begin questioning the state's ability to protect what it claims to own. For Ukraine, the incident boosts morale. Every breach in Russian defenses helps reinforce the narrative of resilience and strategic ingenuity. Ukrainian officials often avoid confirming direct responsibility, but they make sure the message gets across. Any territory used to support the occupation remains at risk. The attack also reinforces Ukraine's push for additional Western support by highlighting the importance of long-range precision capabilities. Strategically, The bridge is more than concrete and steel. It represents Russia's claim over Crimea, the heart of its justification for the war. Damaging it threatens the very narrative the Kremlin relies on to sustain its domestic support. This is why the emotional tone coming from Russian officials is so intense, because the stakes are more than military. They are political and personal. As the dust settles, the key question becomes what comes next. Will Russia increase its attacks on Ukrainian cities? Will it tighten security around Crimea and allocate more military resources there? Or will it struggle to respond decisively, revealing deeper cracks in its war strategy? These uncertainties make the situation even more volatile. For now, all eyes remain on Moscow's next move. Every statement, every deployment, every retaliatory strike will signal whether this attack is a temporary shock or a turning point with long, lasting consequences. What's clear is that the Crimea Bridge, once viewed as a symbol of permanence, has become one of the most contested and unstable flashpoints of the entire conflict. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned as we continue to break down the major developments shaping this rapidly evolving war.